We are rolling, rolling.
Are we
Yes.
on?
Yes.
There
Yep.
we go. All right.
1, 2,
Today,
3, go.
Yeah.
here we
Ah,
go. September 24th,
yeah.
2020. Exciting times.
2020.
They sure are.
924. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All right,
good,
Noreen.
good. Diana, your question about Aku, right?
Oh, yes. So, Peter, you had talked about Aku in that because of Aku, there's been incredible acceleration now that's happening, and what could have been 30 years is now 2 years. You had mentioned that that name was on the website, and we have looked everywhere trying to find it. First of all, we don't even know how to spell it, and we couldn't find it. So we just wanted to get more information on that,
Yes.
who it is, where is it on the website, and whatever you want to share about that.
Okay, well, Aku is not on the website
Okay,
Oh.
that's what I thought.
and it is spelled AKU.
Okay, that's what we thought. Okay.
And he's a spokesman for the elders in Australia.
Okay. That's the Aborigine elders?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. AKU.
And basically, he is saying that December 21st at 11:11, and we should always use Greenwich Mean Time because that's 0 on.
Okay.
That basically we're going to redo what we did, including you two, 2,200 years ago.
Wow.
We then
Wow.
we ascended the Mayan 10
Yes.
and we dematerialized the pyramid, which tied the stars, and we rendered the pyramid weightless because that's one thing you can do. And basically, from my point of view, we're going to do that again,
Wow.
but it's going to be different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's something that 10 of us will have in our experience realms. Right?
Yes.
More practice, huh? You're doing that again.
Right. But then we're going to take a big step.
Yeah.
And people keep looking for what's in the dryer.
Okay.
You can't tell what's in the dryer because the people in the dryer, pre-quantum, are not looking at the same stuff we're looking at.
Yes.
We're not even looking at dates. But from my point of view, that is the date. That is the moment. It's a moment of major change.
It's interesting, Peter, because, the whole end of the Mayan calendar and the crazy expectations of what was going to happen in the world going back 8 years ago was on that date, 12/21, and that's crazy. When I look at that, I'm like, wow, well, here we are. And now I had heard that there's an 8-year difference
Hang
between,
on, I'll be right back.
sure, honey, between the calendar that we have used and the Mayan calendar. Is that something that you know, that there is actually an 8-year difference, or no?
That's a non-event. What the real event is that it took us quantum 8 years to get ready.
Okay.
That's what it really boils
Boiled
down.
down to? Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Yay.
And if you think about it, that's when we really started.
Mm-hmm.
right? We we started in 2012 and said it didn't happen.
Right.
So, and now it's 2020, 8 years later, and look where we are
Yeah,
Yes.
a lot's happened.
Yes.
and what happened, right?
Yeah, a lot has happened. Sure.
Wowie. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah. Well, and I get that it's not the actual same thing that we're talking about, but that's something hugely significant that we're able to do and get off the ground, so to speak.
It's, if the Mayan 10 weren't involved, it's not an event. And how many know about the Mayan 10? But
Our-
maximum 43 of us.
Right, right.
42
Right.
plus 1, yes.
And minimum 10 of us.
Mhm.
And one of them is suffering from spiritual ego, which is major.
Sure.
It's not mine. And we all know that that one is Scotty.
Yeah.
He's just too prepared for this to let anything be different. That's what spiritual ego is.
Mhm.
You close it off because of fear.
Sure. And we know when people are overwhelmed with the, the complexities, the dramas, all of the things that have happened, it's easy to fall into that trap.
It sure is.
And he has had a lot going on for a long time. Doesn't mean he doesn't have the quantum strength to use and to get through it, but I can see that it's been very hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anything else on that date and moment?
Okay, so Aku, if we wanted to look that up, how did you come upon this? Through quantum singularity in your magnificent?
That 3 hour and 39-minute video
Okay.
that Catherine sent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
And it's in the very last 10 minutes.
Wow. Thank you, Catherine. That's awesome.
Last. Okay, I'm at about an hour and 15 minutes into it.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 hours and 39 minutes or 37 minutes. It's long, but it's good.
It's good.
There are a lot of people pre-quantum,
Mm-hmm.
and they say stuff that's pre-quantum,
Yes.
but Aku is the last guy that speaks.
Okay.
Yay.
Wow, that's
Now
awesome.
we found him.
It is, yeah, and it's one of those aha,
Big aha, yes.
Yes. Wow.
and bam, it immediately registered as similar, not as extensive, but similar to our Mayan experience, which is the 700 square base. That's the planets,
Mm-hmm.
and then the pyramid is the stars.
Yeah.
And then it was a moment where we could ascend and dematerialize. It's that simple.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So that's the Aku.
That's a big aku.
Yeah,
Big
it
deal.
is. It's almost like
The
an
Yahoo
aha.
for the aku.
Except, I used to have a boss in Rockwell days. He was Indian, but his last name was Haku. Hakku. Haku.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting name, especially for an Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. We will definitely share that with others, because I've talked
Good.
to a few people that are looking for it on the website. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
now we know where to find it.
not there. Yeah, because it's pre-quantum,
Okay.
and he'll view it as pre-quantum.
Hmm.
And he's not one of the Mayan 10. And he didn't go through the experience. I mean, the experience we went through is amazing.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah, really incredible.
Yeah.
And if we're all not 10 in it, can we still have the experience in December?
Oh, the reason we can do it is because quantum strength.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
For 14,500 supercycles before we had that.
Right.
And then when we consciously put together quantum strength and water,
Mm-hmm.
it's even more intense.
Sure.
For example, this morning, I went to level 20 on quantum strength because of water and dust.
Wow.
So I took it to the max.
That had to be pretty awesome.
Well, it is to me
yes, yes.
because it shows where we are.
Wow. Thank you. That's very cool.
So we're basically regurgitating double strength and water every day.
Wow.
Yeah, hugely significant.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that we ended up with 6, right? And spiritual ego is you only can do 4 of the 6. And the difference between 4 and 6 is 50%.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 2 divided by 4 is half.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what spiritual ego is costing.
Yeah, it's a huge
So-
price.
Anybody that wants to know, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Now that takes you all the way to the bottom. So if you don't feel like you're at the bottom, let's keep talking.
Mhm. So, heart becomes quantum is what is it, number 3x or whatever, right?
Heart is number 9, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 4x. That's the 4x. Heart
Remember, heart morphs though.
The quantum heart then.
Correct.
Mhm.
That's where you get stereo.
Yep.
And I mean, then it's just like, wow.
Yeah, it's
It's
incredible.
just very strong.
Mhm.
And it combines. It literally goes away. Because heart as stereo is part of quantum. But heart is required for life. Water is required for blood. That's how they're related.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Heart and water, yes.
Yeah.
And become blood too, which is mostly water and plasma.
So it really is no new balance models, right?
Right?
And then all we're really adding to that is strength. And water is kind of a co-creator
Yeah.
along with quantum. You can't do anything
Right.
without blood and water.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
And then you have other aspects. You have ice, you have air, you have DNA, plasma, DNA, RNA, and you've got the 5 levels of water, right? Creation, RNA, DNA, air,
Air, yes, water.
which is breath,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then water, which is blood, and then ice, which is body.
Very true. And so, is the air also very minutely charged?
Well, that depends on the toxins.
Okay.
Let's keep it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Noreen,
Right.
you ask questions that most of us can't comprehend, so we're going to keep it real simple.
Yeah.
Real tight.
Okay. Table
Yeah,
that one.
and-
Yes.
And see, the toxins are man-made.
Yeah.
Right.
Man-made is it just never works.
No.
Except it sure does in the dryer.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of it sold.
Yeah. There.
Absurd profit margins. All kinds of things.
Yes. They.
But the big question is, why are we going from 3 decades to 2 years?
Yes.
Yeah, huge acceleration.
And that is basically because of the clarity that is in that pre-quantum. That is, just south 4 hours worth of stuff.
Mhm. Wow. Amazing.
So that
And-
clarity supports us in being able to move forward, because what would have taken longer, because we would have had to be able to figure all this out. Now we have access to it, so we
Yeah.
are able to be, kind of catapulted forward at a sooner time, if we choose to, right?
Yeah.
Correct. And Catherine, for the first time, is not putting "I'm created by God" right in my face.
She's
So
doing great.
she gained a lot.
Yes,
Yes.
she's amazing. I've had
Yeah,
opportunity to get to know her. She's amazing, and she's so excited about learning and understanding the difference of pre-quantum and quantum, because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, she's ready.
Yeah,
And awesome.
and she has to join.
Hmm.
I mean, that's amazing.
Hmm.
And Bonnie asked me about Diana several months ago, and I said, no, it's close. But when I saw her eyes, she looked during our last call. Diane did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I looked through her eyes. It was like, wow, she's ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then, boy, is she computer literate.
that's nice. That's awesome.
Well, it is, and she's even responded to our text. I mean, that's how fast she was able to use all that.
Right. She's ready. She's
Yeah.
ready. It's amazing.
Yeah,
You know?
she is.
Yeah.
So
And she wanted everybody's names and phone numbers and everything. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
yeah,
Very
Yeah.
neat.
It's very fun.
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
it is.
Growing the family.
Well,
Yes,
I was confused on that call. I thought she was the owner of the farm. That Yuri and her mom were visiting that organic farm, the Sea Breeze.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so I thought she was the owner, and I didn't realize she was Bonnie's friend and
Yeah.
roommate.
Well, my guess is that Bonnie has helped heal Diane,
Yes, I'm
and
sure.
then they just became really good friends
Uh-huh.
during that process.
Sure, that happens for sure.
Bonnie is not computer literate.
Hmm.
She is healing. I mean, she's the original healer.
Yes. So cool. Very cool.
And
Go ahead.
so, anyway,
Yeah, that's very fun. All right, Noreen, what's next on the list? We want to make the most of the time.
You want to do the surrogacy one?
Yeah, the way you wrote it though, I like the way you wrote it.
So,
yeah, we're all one body.
Yes,
It's really easy.
so how do we
And-
work with the surrogacy? So, one body, a cell working on the other cells.
No, for example, in the morning when I'm taking a shower, I do a surrogate for Nell's knees. And I just use my focus and I'm her surrogate.
Uh-huh.
It's real simple.
Wow. So that's what I wrote down from our last conversation was just a focus and 4.5 seconds on the person.
Well, for example, you can be a surrogate to yourself.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So
How do
can
we
you
do
say more about that?
that?
You what is your connection back to know?
One
Focus.
is, yeah, multiple.
Focus, right?
Period.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go anywhere
With your
in
focus.
your dot
Mm-hmm.
of no 4 words,
Mm-hmm.
letters,
Right?
new 3 letters,
Mm-hmm.
balance 7 letters. What's your tool to go there? Focus.
Yeah, focus.
Mm-hmm.
The tool is the focus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
And since we're one body, why would we exclude ourselves? There's no reason.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
No.
Yeah,
Correct.
no, we wouldn't.
So be a surrogate for yourself. Use the quantum Noreen. 4.5 seconds is all you need to do because part of it is we're still getting the balance and becoming quantum. We're not yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, but you can do circus work on yourself. And the 2 words are focus and
One body.
yeah, one body.
One
Right.
body. Focus one body for 4.5 seconds. Yay.
You're right.
I'm doing it without doing it. Knowing. Usually it's when I'm in the twilight zone between the 2 energies. I hear, if I'm not saying it, I'm hearing in myself, gotta do it now.
So
Very neat.
next question.
Question around that, you shared about Diana Martinez working on all of us on Tuesday, doing her Reiki, but it wasn't the energy work that you're referring to. It's more her focus being on all of us. She was using that focus to do the surrogate work. Is that right?
Let me get simple.
Yes.
Did Diane help people with tired bodies?
Yes.
Why did we have tired bodies? Not enough water,
Yes.
and you weren't reaching for strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I use that as a way to repeat.
Wow. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it was like an extension of the call.
Yes, it was. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. You know, pre-quantum things look so different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I mean,
Wow.
it's
Okay.
such.
Yeah. The next question was,
But again, remember, it's so important. The reason is quantum strength.
Yes.
Quantum strength was not available for 14,500 supercycles until June 1st, 2016.
yes.
And then it didn't get tested completely until the 25th of February
Yep.
2019.
Yeah,
Yep.
last year. Yes. Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Next question, Peter. Magnetic fields. Uh, I feel there will be very different use for magnetic fields with our 3D bodies versus the fully analog body that we get when we fully return to quantum. Is that true? Or is it going to be no change in terms of magnetic
It's
field?
no change. There's magnetic, which has no attenuation delay
Mm-hmm.
and can travel through the earth. And there's electrical. And just think of Edison and Tesla.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't complicate.
Yes.
It's simple. One is instant.
One has a
And
delay. Yes.
you don't need high tension wires screwing up the fences and the landscape.
Yes.
And one has attenuation delay, and if you use DC, you have to have a new power plant every 30 miles. Give me a break.
Yes.
And I mean, it's almost the same as Big Farm. Right? Big Farm is inside the dryer and with absurdly high profit margins.
Say that again, please.
What was the last word you said, Peter? You cut off.
Profit,
Oh, profit
margins.
margin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was all about profit margins,
I
right?
mean, when something costs pennies to produce and they're charged thousands,
Yes.
that's a high profit margin.
Very much so. Yes.
Well, it's crazy, you know, that we've entertained it for so long and it's been allowed, but there's been so much separation and false beliefs. The truths have been missing clearly.
And,
Exactly.
and a lot of training because of the media, advertising, and everything else, you know.
Right.
Branding.
And you get into RNA and DNA, which is a part of water.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of very sick because people used to say like spring water is better, you know, bottled water. But now they are finding there's arsenic in Whole Foods spring water. So
Yeah.
they're actually poisoning the waters as even at the source level, you know. At the
So
Right.
it's
source.
not just the bottles, Noreen, they're literally in the water that
Yes,
they're,
in the bottles, yeah.
but I'm saying it's not because of the bottles, it's actually in the water source.
They may have put it in there. Who knows? You know,
Wow.
or added it in the transportation.
Well, the irony is that once we've crossed the threshold, so we still have 50% to go. But once we have crossed the threshold, we can't get COVID,
Yes.
can't affect us.
Yeah, that's really wonderful.
And once we're a master, you can eliminate COVID for somebody else
Wow.
in 45 seconds, right? Put together target, put together one body. What's going to prevent it?
Hmm.
Mm.
What else do you need? You don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Indeed.
Very cool.
Very neat. Wow.
That's
I'm
good.
kind of
Mind
blown
blown.
at this point. All the fuses are gone from the mind.
Well, it makes mastery even that much more exciting.
Yes,
it does.
it
Yeah.
does.
It does.
And Peter, how, I mean, I know this is like, I don't even know how to pose the question, but like to ask the question, but you in your life now, like you're very much helping us and our group, you know, instrumentally everything that you're doing and sharing, but yet you live as the only one that's a master at this point in time. So I'm just wondering, how is that? Because you have to, you know, you're in quantum. So sometimes when I watch you like pause, I feel like it's like because you're over here and yet you're trying to communicate with us. Like I can feel that, you know. So I'm just saying, how is that for you? Like when you're with your family, when you're working with us, when you're out, you know, walking at the Broadmoor, how is it for you?
Well, it's Harry asked me that question. He felt so dumb for asking for prayer. And I said, why have the delay of prayer when you have the instant of quantum singularity?
Yes.
Mhm.
And he understood that.
That's
and
awesome.
he sent me an email and said, I didn't do this.
Yeah, that's what.
What's your secret? There are no secrets in quantum.
Right, exactly. And the pause is myself and quantum singularity hooking up
Yeah.
to make sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anything that's out of whack, it takes it's an instant kind of thing, but
Mhm.
that's what's happening.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you. I that's what it felt like. You know, so I was just wondering, but that's amazing.
Synchronized.
And that's your natural now. I mean, this is you just being Peter, doing
Right.
everything with quantum singularity all the time.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I find in myself and a lot of our group communications, we forget about quantum singularity. We are always thanking Peter, but it's a twosome, a pair here.
But
Team.
every time we have those pictures, and you have a lot of them, of the sun and that blue dot,
Mm-hmm.
we're reminding.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that's it. It's there's the head,
Mm-hmm.
teamwork,
Yes.
and we're keeping it real simple.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Huge.
helpful.
Yeah.
So helpful.
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate keeping it simple and, you know, and having the website and all the tools. It just makes it flow so beautifully, and it makes it so much easier, which makes it so much more fun.
Agreed.
You know,
Yeah.
because
That all fits.
yeah, it all fits like a perfect puzzle. Good form, Peter.
Yes.
Thank
Good formula
you. Yeah.
for sure.
Perfection working, yes,
Yes.
together.
Do you have anything else on there, Noreen?
I do. I have a question, Peter. On on the website we say communicate or share with the Galactic Federation, 12.5 million ships. How do we do that? I mean, do we focus on that one ship that is connected to us and then share there, or how does?
They're doing it completely through observing us.
Okay.
And I mean, it's simply, why are they doing that? Right?
Yes.
And then you go, is it a truth or is it a belief? It's all you have to do. Why? And then is it a belief or is it truth?
Yes.
Many times a bird, like today at the Broadmoor, there were two ravens. And I said, you're from the ship.
Wow.
You just know it. And that's why we're all in the process of man.
Wow.
So
Because you'll do that.
so the galactics in the ship can actually morph into those ravens to come and have
You
a,
know, they lock into
Send
their
it?
optic system.
okay.
And the optic system is amplified and that can shift huge.
Wow. That's very cool.
So they're like
I was
remote
gonna say they're
cameras.
kind of like drones. In
Yeah.
the sense that they can take a creature and they can zoom in and use that creature to observe whatever they want.
That's a,
Wow, that's pretty cool. Very neat.
That's why they
Sometimes-
don't have to be right here. They can.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Just wherever they want to and put a flock and fly. They used to do that for me. I'd be sitting in the hot tub and I would see a flock of birds all of a sudden just out of nowhere. And they'd come right towards the hot tub.
Wow. Coming to say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And checking on the house and everybody in there.
That's pretty cool.
Speaking of that, what's Puff Flurry?
What is she doing? She is getting ready to celebrate her 60th birthday.
I know.
And so that's coming up. And
Should
On the
I pause
30th.
should I pause the video? I'll pause it.
yes.